be Will. Welcome back to week 54 of My Custom Venator. This is the series where we're building my massive 7-foot long, 8-foot long Venator. Who knows how long it will be in the end because it's just so freaking big. But make sure to smash that like and subscribe button down below to keep me motivated to continue doing this series. Even though I won't stop, but it helps. Please, guys, please. But let's get into this update without further ado. Starting off this week, we had some amazing progress on the Venator update. We got this new section right here which detaches, and then we have this amazing new ramp for Bark Spears to come right off and down into the abyss. Although it's not going to be an abyss, but you know, it's basically a ramp that we got going for this back end. Now, you see this angle right here, you guys may be thinking, wait, that's way too steep of an angle. Yes, I know that's way too steep of an angle. That's not the angle and how it's going to be, but for reasons of support, it has to be like this. You'll see later this week when we actually redesign the whole back tail because we destroyed the back tail. There are the remains, RIP, which was honestly just way too big in proportion, so I had to get rid of it. Now, you may be curious about these amazing custom clones I got. These are actually from Cole Grayson. He is such a G. He gave me some amazing figs for this Venator MOC, and he does custom decal commissions. So he wants some custom clones but didn't want necessarily decal. These are a great option for you because he can decal just about any figure for you for the right price, kind of like a bounty hunter. Sorry, that's cringe, guys. Oh my god. But in basic, he does decal commissions. If you want someone to decal stuff for you and get it back to you within a timely manner, go DM Cole Grayson on Instagram. I'll link his Instagram and eBay store down below in the pinned comment. So go check him out. Send him a DM today, and you will be able to get your custom clones for your army. Now let's head into a parts order I got from my boy LifeBrick Studios because we gotta get building this week. So in this package, I got a bunch of parts I need for the Venator, Technic beams, plates, everything I need for the back end section of the Venator. Everything he had in his store that I needed. It's great deals, great discounts. So I'm glad I got all of that stuff in this week on the Venator update. And we also got this promo that he gave to me because he's such a G. And then he also gave me an Amelia Earhart promo all for free because I wanted some promos from Lego, but the promos weren't running yet, and he just gave me all this stuff for free. So huge shout out to him. He gave me some great stuff, but the bunny and the Amelia Earhart promo. So thank you so much, Tyler, for all of this stuff. Now let's get building. So the first thing I want to do this week is honestly just finish building this whole thing out, because this is one of the major components for figuring out the scale of everything else around it, like the raise of the engines, everything. So we need to get this done, and we need to get it done quick. So I started to do the same design I did last week, except with basically it just being a lot smaller, like about a few studs shorter and a few studs like less wide. So that's what we started off doing for this week with the updates, and it went pretty good at first until I found out that I have a huge problem. This bottom thing attaches now. So whenever I want to connect this long pole to the back end, it wants to disconnect from the top end or the bottom end because they're now both disconnectable and they weren't before. So that is a whole new issue that I have to figure out how to solve. So I started to work on a technique that would basically have a better connection in the center, hoping that would work. So I had to take a bunch of the back off and disconnect the sides, which made it a lot weaker, but in the end, it ended up doing nothing and being the wrong solution for me anyways, and I just gave up right there and then. Alright, so I'm trying to figure out some new solutions for this technique, but nothing is working. I mean, this would technically be a great support if I could connect it to the core, but I want this to be able to detach. But there's just so many things I'm trying to figure out in this one space, and it's so complicated to figure out. I did not think it was going to be this hard to figure out how to do, and I just don't know how to make it all work, because I want this to be able to detach, the bottom one too, both of them be able to detach, and then I also need to somehow connect these two ends with the support, and everything's just a big mess. And then the plates on the top, when you put this in, it's going to stick them together, so I don't know what I'm thinking with that idea. But I am just too overwhelmed with this right now. This is really stressful and I can't figure out how to do it. Alright, after many attempts, trials, and errors, we actually got this thing to work. Well, pretty well for the most part. So, what I have done is basically created a system that allows me to pull out two ticket pins and then it disconnects it from the main surface over here. Now, this main surface right here is a lot weaker. These sides are sagging a bit. I do need to add some reinforcement down there somehow. But right now, I'm just trying to get this thing to work. But what I did to make this thing work was add a lot of reinforcement, and I mean a lot. So as you can see, for our first layer of defense against like something falling off, to prevent this from falling off, I got one of these like Technic hooks that I've kind of made to wrap around this Technic beam, which brings that together, and then I got a plate underneath here. I also extended this out and made it loop around on this end too, so it's all very strong like throughout the whole thing. Now the only thing that holds it back is this thing right here. You see, if I pull on it a little bit, it disconnects like that. And that feels like a one stud disconnection. And that is because it pulls out the Technic pin that is right there out. That is the honest truth of it. It just pulls the Technic pin out, and that's what it does. So that's the only weak point, but that's easily fixable. So we got a strong, viable solution for this thing right here now, which is great to see. Now I'm going to actually work on building this thing up a bit, building up the walls, everything around it, just to make sure everything looks good. So I just got done some more progress. It is getting harder and harder to support because I feel this like straining so much because all the weight is forced at the very front end, and all of this weight, each brick I add adds more tension to this. It makes it even like stiffer, which is crazy. But that's physics for you, I guess. But it's fully freestanding. Nothing's pouring it on the bottom. Like this does nothing for it. But we've made some great progress. We built it up a bit. We actually got this big trench right here running along the whole top side, so I can do a snot roof, which will look something like this, except it will sink in like right there, so that way it works just like that. But we're basically going to have a snot roof, which is going to look super great for this section. That'll be coming in a few weeks still because I don't have any bricks that work with like a 1x14. Heck, I still need a bunch of 1x2s, 1x4s, 1x3s. Like I'm going to need to place a bunch of pick-a-brick orders and get those parts in because we need a lot of those parts for the Venator. Not just for this, but for other things as well. We also added this support right here going along the side of the Venator like we have it on this side for the panels. Oh, that's not good. As you can see, it's still holding, but now it's sagging. This was what I was talking about earlier, as this thing is the support for everything around here, but it has to connect all the way up there for it to work. So what I have to do basically is pull this thing up and snap it into place, and then everything will hold up pretty good. But that's basically what I have to do, and that's the one thing I feel like I gotta reinforce because this is literally holding the whole back end of the Venator. I can literally sway it like this and it holds everything, so I definitely gotta make this stronger. Alright, so the next thing we gotta do is light up this section right here with my Lighttailing and BricsMax lights. Thanks to them, again, huge shout out to Lighttailing and BricsMax. Without them, I don't think I'd be able to light up this whole Venator. So if you want to get something from them, use code REALBRICS to save 10%. And I also get a little kickback of, whatever you buy. I get like 8% commission rate on whatever you buy from them. So you're also helping to fund this project by buying lights for them. And without them, I don't think I'd be able to light up this project because that would cost a ton of money, at least $400. So huge shout out to Lighttailing and BricsMax. If you want to support them and support me, go buy from them using my affiliate link down in the pinned comment. And with the progress I just made, these look absolutely amazing. Honestly, they're so discreet too and everything. I currently just haven't charged my battery pack, so I'm using a power cord to make this thing work currently. But honestly, this is amazing. I love how these lights come out every single week, and I can't wait to expand the rest of the Venator with these lights eventually. Now, the last thing I wanted to take a look at this week was actually redesign the whole bottom panels. Yes, I know that sounds drastic, but it needs to be done because it's inaccurate. So if you look at this very first image that I was showing on screen, the panel is way different than just a straight line, which is a bit concerning because mine is a straight line. So currently I have to redesign this whole back panel, which is so annoying on this side and the other side, which is going to take a long time. So I'm going to do that right now, and then I think that's going to be the last thing for this update. On top of this, I also realized another error. This is the wrong stripe pattern for the bottom panels. You see, the bottom panels follow this pattern that's basically a red dash, and then another red dash, and then another red dash. There's 5 red dashes, not long lines. So I had to redesign just about everything. So that's the first thing I did. But then I needed to figure out the new angle of the Venator and figure out the appropriate sizing for it. So this was a lot of trial and error, figuring out how to get this thing to work exactly, because this is something that's not super easy. I had to put it up to the Venator a few times during the testing of building this process. But overall, I think it turned out pretty nice. except for the fact that I still do need to get some more parts for the back end of it, because as you can see, it's really like rough looking. I gotta get that completed, but I was able to do this for both panels this week on the lower levels, so it's great to see that they're both complete. And with that, we wrap up our progress for this week on the Venator series. We definitely did some great strides this week with both of these panels and the back tail, for Christ's sakes. What an engineering marvel. And next week, you know what time it is. Bridge time. I've been prototyping a little bit of a bridge, and honestly, just to motivate myself to work on this project some more, I want to work on this bridge. It's killing me, and I'm super excited to begin working on this. So that is what I'm going to be working on next, is the bridge. So stay hyped for next week, because next week is bridge week. Which sounds like that thing I had to do during middle school for classes when they were like an hour and 30 minutes long, which kind of sucked. So let's just forget I said bridge week. But the bridge is the next thing we are going to be working on. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for this week of the Venator series. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Make sure to like and subscribe. And this light is giving me a hard time, so please subscribe, guys.